Right back now at 9:40, improving fitness, finances, mental health, usually among the top of your New Year's resolutions. But getting a better night's sleep could be the key to attaining all of your goals.
That's right. We could all use a bit more rest. We could all use a bit more rest. Let me say it again. So here to help us catch up on more Z's in 2024, CEO and co-founder of WhisperSom, Michael Nathans. Michael, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Good morning, Oma.
I hope you got a great night of rest before you came on.
Oh, I did. Thank you.
Okay, so we know it's important. We say it all the time. We say 7, 8, 9 hours for so many people. That truly seems unattainable. So start off with your best advice for folks.
Well, the best advice is to get good rest. It's not how long you sleep, it's how well you sleep. And it's important to prepare yourself to go to sleep. And the things to do are make sure you eat right, but not right before you go to sleep. And exercise. It's important to get about 10,000 steps a day, so by the time you lay down and go to sleep, you're digested and you're tired enough to get sleep within 20 minutes is all it should take, really.
That's probably the key, right? Get yourself tired so that you do fall asleep right away.
Yes.
And I do know you get a lot of your best sleep right away, right? When you first fall asleep. So if you're like me last night and the fire alarm goes off at 1 in the morning, at least I got 3 hours sleep. So did that help at least a little bit if I fell asleep right away?
Yes. One piece of advice that I give a lot of people is don't fall asleep on the couch after dinner. And you may, if you do it, you'll notice you go into a deep sleep, and when you wake up, you're going to find your bed.
Yeah.
And you're coming out of a deep sleep, and that first stage of sleep is the most restorative. And here's why. Your brain shuts down, your eyes are closed, you're not getting input, your brain's not active, and your brain actually shrinks a little bit and opens up the folds in between your brain, so the fluid in your brain can wash out the toxins. And this happens every night, and especially when you're in your deep sleep in the first stages of sleep. And you really don't want to interrupt that by getting up off the couch and finding your bed and turning on the lights and waking yourself up.
At what point in that deep sleep, or how quickly does REM start onsetting for us?
Well,
and is it different per person, or are we all kind of the same?
It's different per person, but it goes in cycles. You go into a deep cycle first, and then you come into a lighter stage and back into deep sleep. And, depending on what's going on in your bedroom or, frankly, in your mind, you can not get a lot of sleep, or you can sleep, very deeply and very soundly. But the important thing is to be able to breathe while you're sleeping. And so people who snore typically struggle to breathe while they sleep.
You brought some props in, and I recognized the mask. I did not recognize the tennis ball and how that impacts us. What's the story with the tennis ball?
Well, this is sort of funny. When I first started in this business, I read that sewing a tennis ball in the back of your nightshirt will keep you off your back and reduce your snoring. It's a very low-tech way of doing it.
Right, exactly. And we know how much snoring, sleep apnea can not only impact your sleep, but perhaps your partner's sleep, because we're hearing more people doing these sleep divorces, sleeping in separate beds, separate bedrooms.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, like you said, it's quality of sleep that's the key here.
Yes. Sleep divorce is coming into our lexicon more and more.
Right.
And it's really has a negative connotation. But it's really a good practice, because sleeping next to somebody who's snoring, you're not going to get good sleep.
Yeah.
And if you're snoring and getting elbowed and punched and kicked, you're not going to get good sleep.
Guilty.
So it's really good, actually, to have separate bedrooms in those instances.
You mentioned the brain, and I'm glad that you did, because, when you talk about it, how physically it's cleansing us as we sleep, right? And we're getting that recharge. So why is it when I'm trying to get to sleep, I try to solve all the world's problems and I worry about something that's going to happen 9 months from now? Why do we get all of these thoughts as we're trying to get to sleep?
Well, it's because you haven't exercised enough during the day. You're not tired enough, I guess, I would say.
Steve, you've been called
different.
out.
Some people need the TV on to go to sleep.
Yeah.
I can't. I quiet my thoughts.
How long should it take us, ideally? Like, once we lay down, we're just like, we made the decision. If my bedtime is, say, 10 o'clock is bedtime, how long should it ideally take before I'm asleep?
20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Last question. Does pillow matter?
Well, sure. It matters for a couple of reasons. One is, if you elevate your head a little bit, you're less likely to snore.
Okay.
But if you're wearing one of these CPAP masks, it's really hard to sleep on a regular pillow. So there are special pillows made for people who have sleep apnea that wear these masks. They have a little cutout here, so the mask has a place so it doesn't, get pushed off your face.
Again, make it easier for you so that you can get to sleep. Your partner's happy.
Yes.
Everybody works well together.
Yes.
All right. Well, we'll get ourselves tired out and try not to take 6 naps during the day so that we can fall asleep in 20
Don't have
minutes.
apneas. They're so bad for you, especially in kids. They lead to diabetes. They lead to learning disorders in kids.
Oh, we can do a whole other segment on that. We'll have to have you back for that. Thank you so much for sharing. Here's to better rest for all of us in the new year. There's all the information for WhisperSom right there on your screen. Thank you so much, Michael.
Thank you for having me today.